Hey, what's happening, Disney Reviews? I'm the Guy01, and welcome to this week's first episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's the Ring General, Gunther, against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So we didn't have any birthdays this week, so I just kind of had to make something up. So we're doing the match that will be headlining Crown Jewel. I actually don't remember when Crown Jewel is. Is it this? It's not this weekend, is it? Might be, or maybe. I think it's still another week or so.
6'5", nearly 300 pounds of pure malice. It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 297 pounds. Gunther! The Ring General has declared the match sacred and sees this industry as pure sport, meaning there is no room for games and antics. And Gunther takes everything so seriously, like he's always scowling. Hey, listen, he takes pride in what he does. It's difficult not to admire the expertise possessed by Gunther.
That's a good way to put it. So like I said, there were no birthdays this week. So there's not really anything else to really talk about other than Raw and SmackDown, but we do have one thing to talk about, and that involves Daniel Bryan. Basically, Daniel Bryan recently lost the AEW Championship, and I believe he basically announced his retirement in the ring, or like later that night. I can't remember how the situation went down exactly, or if like he announced his retirement and then this news came out afterwards, or if it was the other way around. But basically it came out that Daniel Bryan has accumulated a series of injuries affecting his neck and spinal cord, and he is going to be going into treatment to fix it, but there's no guarantee that the treatment will work. And because there's no guarantee that the treatment will work, there is no guarantee that Daniel Bryan will be returning to the ring. Now, I believe Daniel Bryan announced his retirement from full-time competition before this. He basically said, from this point on, I will not be a full-time wrestler anymore after he lost the title. And then this came out as like, oh, he might just never wrestle again. So we'll see what comes of this, because, you know, we've heard this before. We heard this about 10 years ago. That he would never wrestle again, and, you know, he got another, what, 6-7 years out of himself? 8 years? So we'll see if this time it's legit, or, you know, Bryan pushes through again, or if he really calls it a career at this point. Because he really has no reason to continue anymore. He's done everything there is to do and more. So, you know, I think he should just kind of be done at this point. Because he seems to just be kind of like at that point in his career where he's getting injured more times than not. And, you know, people are accusing, like, the AEW style of wrestling, where it's, like, the high risks, you know, just very, very brutal style that, you know, high-risk stuff, a lot of, like, dangerous moves that, you know, saying that Daniel Bryan was, like, really only ever injured in AEW, which is not true. You know, there's definitely that whole portion of like, wrestling fans who really only started watching Daniel Bryan in WWE. And it's like he never got injured in WWE. It's only in AEW where he's getting injured. It's like, no, he's got injured in WWE plenty of times. Before WWE plenty of times. But the guy's also like in his 40s now. So I think he's just at like that point in his career where he gets injured more easily, and, you know, wrestling the style he does, which is, you know, very physically demanding, you know, isn't helping. But I don't think it really matters where he's wrestling. I think he'd still be getting injured no matter what, just because of the 20-plus years of wear and tear on his body. So I think saying that he's only getting injured because of you know, how they're expected to wrestle in AEW and how AEW allows their people to wrestle. I just don't think that's true. But anyway, moving on to Raw and SmackDown. Oh, he just slapped Gunther. That's not going to end well for you. So Raw began with Rhea Ripley coming out, kind of promo, before getting confronted by, of all people, Tiffany Stratton, who came out and basically told Rhea to not get in Nia's way again, because if she does, she's going to regret it. This then led to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez coming out and attacking both Rhea and Tiffany Stratton, setting up a tag team match for later that night. And of course, the thing that everyone's talking about with this segment was just the visual of Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton standing next to each other and just how different they look. The one comparison I saw that was like a perfect comparison was it felt like Wednesday and Enid from the Wednesday show, which is just a great comparison. Get back out there. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair beat Io Sky and Kairi Sane to retain the women's tag team titles. They did get some assistance from NXT's Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, who, made the appearances last week. Just keep setting them out. So get your butt out of here. Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, made their returns, now under the name the War Raiders, beating Otis and Akira Tozawa to advance in a number one contender tag team title tournament.
It's unthinkable. Someone beating the one count at this point. Quick thinking pays off.
Whoop. So it's good to see Eric and Ivar again as a team, because I don't think they've been shown as a team in what, like a year? It's been a while. Braun Breaker beat Kofi Kingston. After the match, he attacked Xavier Woods, which then led to Jey Uso coming out to make the save. It's like, yes, cheer for me. They're not really doing much for them to cheer, but okay. Oop. The Miz faced R-Truth in a match. Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain then came down. You'd think to help the Miz, but instead they ended up distracting him and allowed R-Truth to steal the win. The Authors of Pain then attacked R-Truth and then tossed him back into the ring for Miz to attack, who hit R-Truth with the skull-crushing finale. So kind of a weird strategy to kind of, distract the person you're trying to manipulate and cost them a match, just to then, seemingly assist them, but okay, we'll see where this goes. And in the main event, Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton faced Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. The match ended when Nia Jax interfered, attacked everybody, causing a DQ. This then led to a brawl where a bunch of people got taken out. Nia ended up taking out Liv Morgan, giving Tiffany Stratton the chance to cash in on Liv for the Women's World title, but was unable to cash in as Dominic Mysterio came out and saved Liv Morgan from getting cashed in on. So it'll be interesting to see if WWE ends up going back to this dynamic of having Tiffany work as a good guy. because um, having her team up with Rhea and going up against Liv and Raquel, I mean, that kind of automatically puts her as a face, just in comparison. And the crowd seemed to be reacting pretty well to her. I mean, she already gets some pretty positive reactions as is. So it'll be interesting to see if and when WWE pulled the trigger on just making her a face and letting the fans cheer her freely. I do think it's going to happen sooner than later. Moving on to SmackDown, hashtag Guy01 beat the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly to advance in the number one contender tournament for the tag team titles. Lash Legend made another appearance coming up from NXT, beating Piper Niven. It seems that WWE is making an effort on flushing out the women's division, bringing up more women's wrestlers from NXT, which is good because, yeah, other than just like your like core like 5 women, there's no one who's like everyone else is kind of just like mid-carders with really nothing to do. So giving more women for the current women's rosters to work with, I think is a good idea. And the big moment of the night and really of the week for WWE was the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, who made their debut on SmackDown this week, participating in this tag team title tournament, beating the teams of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a triple threat, which was a great way to introduce them. Put them in the ring with people who can really show off what they're able to do, the guns. And also, it's just really cool to see the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. And not just in WWE, but as the Motor City Machine Guns. They got to keep their name, keep their original gimmick, and just, they didn't try to repackage them or make them someone else. And WWE really put a lot of effort into kind of trying to show people why these guys are such a big deal. And, like I said, it's just kind of nice to see them, like these guys who have been, 2 of the unexpected cornerstones of TNA for the past 20 plus years. I mean, you've got these 2 guys who were like a staple of TNA's tag team division for a decade. Chris Sabin was like one of the main faces of the X Division. Alex Shelley was just like one of those like constants in WWE. He was just like that guy who was always there from like the beginning. He's worked with everyone. I mean, from Paparazzi Productions, working with Kevin Nash. Ow. Not even a 1 count. Oh no, I wasn't ready for that. Nope, not even a 1 count. Get off me, boy. Come here. Nope, not gonna get him to tap out, but we can wear him down. Hey, get off me.
These 1 counts are going to get harder and harder to kick out of. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Goodbye. But yeah, it's just so cool to see these guys, like I said, they were like the faces of TNA, or not even the faces of it, but like those guys who were like almost like kind of the backbone of it, just because they were always there. Especially recently, after they've reunited a couple years ago. After Alex Shelley was like going single for a while. Both of these guys are now like TNA World Champions. like I said before, Saban was like one of the guys who you think of when you thought the X Division. It was like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, and Christopher Saban, really. Especially when you look at like how many times he won the X Division title. I mean, he's one of the X Division guys. And now that they're in WWE, it would actually be kind of funny to see them, you know, encounter or have a run-in with AJ Styles, which actually might be kind of unlikely now. So we got some more news on AJ Styles' injury, which does seem to be legitimate. There was that initial speculation that it was a work to avoid, I forget who he was working with. I think it was with Carmelo Hayes he was working with, kind of keep him, you know, still keep some legitimacy for AJ Styles, so not having Carmelo beat him, but also not having Carmelo lose any legitimacy by losing. So it was like done to like protect both of them, but now it seems to be a legitimate injury and questionable return date. I mean, you gotta stop trying that. It's not working for you. Gotta stick with something more guaranteed to work like that.
And now thrown back into the ring.
Alright. Count it. Oh no. Ow. So yeah, it's just really cool to see the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. It's just really cool to see that. Alright, one more powerbomb. Nia Jax and Candice LeRae beat Bayley and Naomi. Candice was just thrown in because I believe Tiffany Stratton wasn't able to be involved in the match. So Candice LeRae came in and did a pretty good job filling in. It was cool to see Candice LeRae get this moment to shine. That was the main event of the night. The final segment saw Roman Reigns confront Solo Sikoa. The rest of the Bloodline then dragged out a beaten up Jimmy Uso before taking out Roman Reigns to close out the show. So basically just a repeat of last week and I feel like the last couple weeks where Roman Reigns comes out, Bloodline come out, there's a brawl, Roman seemingly does pretty well, but then the numbers game just catches up to him and he gets taken out. I feel like we've seen this for the last few weeks now. Which again, I feel like this is WWE trying to do what they were trying to do with the Judgment Day after Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest left and just try to make them look as legitimate as possible. It's like you can do as many beatdown segments as you want, but unless they're actually like winning matches against these people, it's not gonna, no one's gonna buy them as legitimate. It's like, yeah, you can gang up on them and, you know, beat them down, but can you actually beat them in a match? That's what's important, and they've really yet to do that, so. We'll see how WWE handles this moving forward, going into Crown Jewel and then Survivor Series, which that's going to be fun to see all the Survivor Series War Games matchups. There's a lot of big storylines going on involving a lot of people, so we've got a few War Games matches in the near future coming up. That should be really fun to see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I make videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus, and next week we'll continue our Batman Arkham Knight walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01 and the Ring General, Gunther, signing out. Bye, guys.